Tonight's induction is truly a special one. We're not there yet to own an actual arcade cabinet yet, but it's on our menu. For now, we bring to you a piece of arcade history that arguably introduced North America to the most treasured anime franchise ever created. One that I so love so much. We bring you a marketing flyer for the 1983 LaserDisc game Cliff Hanger. But even more important to me personally, the history of Lupin III and how the Gentleman Thief made it to a rare LaserDisc game that was part of the early arcade technological evolution. Don't judge the corny American knockoff artwork. What we have to show you is going to be awesome. A portal to Japanese animation, to Miyazaki's early genius, and to Lupin III's unsung American debut. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Arcades Collection. Before we begin, check out our new review series, the Arcades Review. Our focus is on providing genuine and constructive feedback on your next video game from independent studios. We take the time to get to know the game with a goal to help the developers succeed. If you are a game developer in need of a solid, fair, and balanced review, send us an email. It's important that we buy your game, so please don't send us free keys unless a free demo is already available. Also, as of today, there are 3 days left to bid on our first eBay auction of the Nintendo Entertainment System and Ninja Gaiden bundle. Good luck, one and all. So, without further ado, let's go on a little time trip. It's 1967. In anime, the Cyborg 009 Monster Wars movie is in the theaters, and Mach Go Go Go, otherwise known as Speed Racer, hits Japanese television. In North American movies, Bonnie and Clyde, Disney's The Jungle Book, and The Graduate are making killings at the box office and becoming historical, cultural reference points. This is the year that Kazuhiko Kato, known by his pen name Monkey Punch, created Lupin III, the suave, womanizing master thief, grandson of Arsène Lupin, yet bound by his own Japanese mythos. Published in weekly manga action, Lupin III blended capers, wit, and adult thrills, fusing Western-style heist narratives with uniquely Japanese humor and art. Early animated incarnations followed. 1971's Green Jacket, Lupin Part 1, was directed in part by young visionaries Hayao Miyazaki and Isao Takahata, who steered the tone toward an adventurous, absurdist energy, even as censorship loomed. Their anime launched the dynamic duo's storied collaboration. Then came 1977's Red Jacket Part 2, a flamboyant, humor-infused run that made Lupin III a household name in Japan and beyond. Building on that success, Toho released 2 feature films, 1978's The Mystery of Mamo, a sci-fi tinged anti-hero gambit, and 1979's The Castle of Cagliostro, Miyazaki's cinematic directorial debut. Beneath its amazingly detailed visuals and dynamic chase scenes, Cagliostro's castle revealed Miyazaki's emerging storytelling philosophy: chivalry, flight, and whimsy. Though modestly received at the box office, it became a critical cornerstone and influenced a young generation of animators and filmmakers. Working on Lupin and Cagliostro's castle sharpened Miyazaki's cinematic voice and Takahata's narrative depth. Experience they carried into Studio Ghibli, founded in 1985. There, they built why Lupin III's legacy matters. It shaped the director's techniques and hearts that would change animation globally. Now, I admit none of this tells you the full story of the incredible history of both Lupin III and Studio Ghibli, both giants in the animation industry in their own right separately. To this very day, Lupin has expanded into 3D animation with a 2019 movie, Lupin the First, and the most recent movie in 2025, Lupin III, the movie, The Immortal Bloodline, a franchise beloved and will not be going anywhere anytime soon. By the way, there are a series of video games related to Lupin we are going to hunt for and add to the Arcades collection, like Lupin III, Pyramid no Ken for the Sega Saturn. Lupin is well embedded in the North American anime fandom now, but how did the thief surface in North American arcades in the first place? The answer lies in a short-lived revolution, the LaserDisc game boom of 1983. When Dragon's Lair stunned players with cinematic animation, companies scrambled to replicate it. Enter Stern Electronics, an underdog arcade maker who secured rights to Cagliostro and Mamo, and in December 1983 released Cliff Hanger, a LaserDisc interactive game recasting Lupin's animated exploits as gameplay. This hybrid brought Miyazaki's vision into American arcades years before Western audiences knew his name. Though Stern was based in Illinois, the footage was Japanese, the game was American, and the result transcends both, a cultural collision that introduced early anime aesthetics to a generation of players. You have to understand, up until that point, American audiences randomly received, like Speed Racer, Astro Boy, and it will be another 2 years before they get to see Robotech, aka Macross. To play Cliff Hanger, unlike the arcade gaming of Pac-Man or Donkey Kong, this was no joystick adventure. It was something new called Quick Time Events. The LaserDisc spun with pre-recorded film sequences from Castle of Cagliostro and the Mystery of Mamo. At precise moments, a rooftop leap, a sword clash, a car chase turn, the game demanded a single input, a flick of the joystick, a press of the hand button, or the foot button. React correctly and the Pioneer LaserDisc player leapt instantly to the success scene, Lupin dodging, vaulting, surviving. Miss your cue and the system branched to failure, Lupin shot, captured, or collapsing in a comical defeat. To the naked eye, it was dazzling, as if you were guiding a living animated film. But in truth, it was binary. A rigid path of success and failure, memorized through trial and error. Once mastered, the illusion broke and the magic dimmed. Not only that, these LaserDisc players were prone to overheating. But that's another story when we continue to our other LaserDisc presentations, like Space Ace. Still, in 1983, this mechanic was revolutionary. Cliff Hanger transformed cinema into a kind of playable puzzle, and in doing so, becoming one of the earliest ancestors of modern interactive storytelling. Now, we examine the inducted item, the Cliff Hanger LaserDisc arcade flyer, representing it all. The front art reveals like a film comic. Cliff, our rebranded Lupin, lunges with a rope and flare above a swirling cloud of ninjas, his car from Cagliostro, a pistol, and the LaserDisc logo emblazoned LaserDisc Video. A technology that could have been and now fitting in our hands via Blu-ray. On the reverse, we find the marketing text. It frames Cliff as a lovable outcast, invites the player to rescue a beautiful lady, and emphasizes 2 buttons and a joystick, the core of the game. Beneath bullet points, 8 sequences and more than 200 action moves, providing complete interactive environment. A statement as cinematic as it is inaccurate. Stern Electronics is now Stern Pinball, and a link can be found in the description below. In 1985, Cliff Hanger appeared on screen in The Goonies. The game was also featured in Starcade, bringing LaserDisc action into televised competition. Most importantly, Cliff Hanger was often the first encounter with Miyazaki's animation for many Americans. It predated Castle of Cagliostro's US theatrical release and arrived before My Neighbor Totoro, Princess Mononoke, or before the Studio Ghibli name meant anything outside of Japan. Arcade collectors now prize the game. Roughly 45 cabinets are known to survive. Original machines are rare and fragile. Fortunately, preservation efforts have allowed Cliff Hanger to live on via emulation, and as of March 2025, fans have reproduced a 4K remaster version using high-res Blu-ray sources, playable through a modern reproduction. We recommend checking out a few sources we've included in the description below. Great how-to videos to try out a LaserDisc emulator. Through these digital revivals, the cinematic arcade spirit of Lupin III continues, preserving a vital, quirky bridge between anime and gaming history. And so, with ceremony befitting its lineage, we induct the Cliff Hanger LaserDisc flyer into the arcade's collection. Just a part of the puzzle as we get closer to finding and owning the full arcade console. Thank you for joining tonight's special episode. Through prisons, car chases, and castles of coin ops past, Lupin III is one of my personal favorites, and it was a pleasure sharing the collection with you. Take a moment to subscribe to our channel, share your Lupin memories, and explore the world where Japanese anime meet North American video gaming. Only on arcades. Have a good evening and see you Friday.